Simon, maybe a word on the new contract?
Oh, look, I'm rapt to be at the footy club, and I've loved this footy club since the time I walked in. It's made up of a lot of special people, and I think in the end it's just a reflection of a lot of people at the club that have done some great work, and I'm really looking forward to the next few years at the footy club.
There's a few players who it would appear from the outside are a little bit touch and go and have had interrupted build-up. So where are you at with in terms of picking your team and having some key players available?
Yeah, I can probably tell you who's going to play. Nathan Jones, Jake Melcham and Jack Viney are all going to come into the team. Three really experienced guys, and all had their eye on their preparation about being ready for round one. So, they had a really good hit out in the VFL 2 weeks ago. They had another great match simulation last Friday. So those guys are ready to go, and looking forward to seeing them perform.
Well, you're being touted as premiership contenders, so how important is it to get off to a strong start, a flying start?
Yeah, look, I think expectations healthy. I think we all would like to be in that position, but we certainly know the work ahead of us. Every week and every game is going to be important, and round one's no different. It's another game in the journey to being the team that we want to become, and we've really got to focus on us and really being the best version of how we play, and that starts on Saturday.
Vandenberg and Joel Smith are obviously out. How does that change your forward structure?
Yeah, look, obviously two guys that are out. Vandenberg plays more through the midfield, but we'll certainly sit down at match committee tonight and have a look at how our forward line's structured. We're really comfortable with the personnel that we've got available, but there will be some subtle changes. You saw Jaden Hunt play forward in the last JLT, so he's a genuine option for us there.
It's an interesting situation with Smith. Obviously, he went back on to the ground after being assessed with that groin. Do you think that was sort of mismanaged from that point of view?
Oh, look, Joel had an acute, awareness of his groin. It certainly wasn't going to change the outcome. In the end, we just needed to get it settled for a couple of weeks and then reload him and see where he's at. You've got to certainly respect, groin injuries and certainly load around that. So that's what we're going to do as a club.
Just on Jack and Nathan, was there any hesitation in bringing in, and Jake as well, guys that weren't acutely involved in all of the build-up in pre-season, especially when Nathan and Jack are playing essentially the same position?
Oh no, 6 weeks ago we targeted their program towards round one, so they've done a lot of load. They could have played JLT2. We opted to play them in the VFL to maximise all our players' minutes on the ground. So their whole preparation's been shaped in that. So those guys are ready to go, and they've done more load than anyone in the last 4 or 5 weeks.
It's been a tough road for Jack over the last couple of years. Are you confident you've got it now? Is that it?
Yeah, we have. He's had a really strong pre-season. He might not have done a lot of the main training, but he's done a lot of increased load, and he loves the game. He knows the game. He understands. He's quite a smart player, and we think we've got his loads right, and he's raring to go. He hasn't been in this position to start a season this shape for a long time, so we're looking forward to seeing him.
What are your thoughts on the sexist comments that have been posted on social media about Taylor Harris?
To be honest, I haven't seen them, but I think we'd be disappointed as an industry to see that the case. We certainly welcome females in our sport. We love seeing them play. I think they've brought a really healthy thing to the Melbourne Footy Club, and they're inspiring a lot of young girls throughout Australia to play the game. So that would disappoint me if that was the case.
What do you make of Port Adelaide and the challenge they present?
Yeah, look, they're a different-looking team. There's no doubt about that. They've got 4 debutants that they're going to play, 11 new players from round 23. So they're playing quick, exciting footy. But we certainly know what we're coming up against. We know the style that they want to play, and we know the way that we want to play. So it should be a good game.
You tweak your game plan?
Oh, not at all. No, we're pretty clear on how we play, and that's what we'll be looking to bring our brand, our DNA to the game.
Marty Hall's sort of been in that selection mix over the JLT. Is he a chance to debut this week?
Yeah, look, as I said, we haven't sat down at match committee yet, but there's a range of guys: Harrison Petty, Marty Hall, Sam Frost, that are in that mix. Without Stephen May in the team, that gives opportunity. So those guys will certainly get spoken about tonight.
How are you feeling for Jesse at the moment, Simon?
Yeah, look, obviously we don't want to make too much comment. We certainly feel, and I certainly feel, it's a really private matter for Jesse, and it's a tough thing that he's going through. And it would be wrong for me to comment on Jesse Hogan's situation, other than this to say is that we support him as a club. I've sent him a message. I know a lot of players have sent him a message, and it's a real issue in our game. It's a real issue in society. we love Jesse. We want to see him healthy, and we'll give our support to him.
Your time, pardon me, your time in football, is the pressure now on players worse than ever that you can remember?
Yeah, scrutiny and pressure is not going anywhere. It's as live and healthy in our game as it's ever going to be. Social media, the increase in media, the increase in expectation of players to perform, even things such as Supercoach. You might think it's stupid, but it's real. And it provides a lot of feedback to players, and that provides a lot of anxiety, a lot of stress. So our responsibility as an industry is to, one, build the support mechanisms around players, and secondly, it's to actually build a skill set where they can cope in that environment. And that's a really broad issue for us as an industry, and I know one the AFL are working on, and as are we as a club, and we feel like we're in a really good space to continue to fight this battle.
Does it ring home the point when it's someone that's so close to you guys as a club?
Yeah, absolutely. It's just another example of where it's at. We have, I speak for a lot of clubs. We, as an industry, there's lots that you don't hear about, and there's some that you do. I think you just got to trust everyone in the industry to say that this is an issue, and we are working together as an industry and as a club to get better at it.
You raised the bar last year with your on-field efforts. I mean, do you talk to your players about dealing with those expectations, or do you like that the D's are talked about as premiership contenders now? How does that all sit?
As I said, expectation for us really healthy. That's the sort of situation that you want to be in. I thought last year we had a lot of expectation. We navigated our way through it. We know at times it's going to be rocky. We know this year we need to improve just to make the 8. But ultimately it's about us and how we improve as a team and how we come together as a club and a team and perform from week to week. So we're looking forward to that opportunity and looking forward to putting that on display on Saturday.
Sorry, Sam, just one more on Jess. There's the statement from Fremantle said that he'd been dealing with this clinical anxiety for quite a while. Is that something that you found difficult to manage throughout his career? Can you give us a little bit of insight on that?
As I said to you, I'm not going to talk about the private confidentiality around Jesse Hogan's situation. All I will continue to say is that we've got enormous support for Jesse, and we always will as a club. So that's about as much as I'll say on the situation, yeah.
Saw Wiedemann step up at times in the finals last year. How do you go about replacing the goals that Jesse provided last year?
I'll pick another player and hopefully they kick as many. But I think we've never put our outcome based on one player or two players. It's about our system. It's about our team working together. It's about our offence and our ball movement coming together so we can actually impact the scoreboard. So it's certainly not about one player. It's not about a certain personnel. It's about how we play as a team, and that ends up being on the scoreboard.